All right, and here we go. I'm sharing my screen. How is my volume? Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right. I need to have the chat box open so I can see. All right, good. Thank you, Miss Ava. All right, so welcome. I still have a little bit of trouble maneuvering on the Mac, so bear with me. My computer is getting too old and I need to upgrade. Welcome everyone. Those of you that are new to the webinar, welcome, and we can't see you. That's always a question that I get. And yes, Rob is my IT support. He's trying to work on my blogs as we speak. He's my maintenance man. He is my video audio man. So one of these days, hopefully he doesn't have to work his corporate job and he can just come help me do better at Avon because he's good at all that stuff. All right, so tonight we focus on leadership and recruiting. If you are newer to Avon, yes, Rob is my hero. He solves my problems and makes things easier for me, and I love that. So if you are starting out and this information is too overwhelming for you, don't feel like you have to start recruiting or do leadership right away. I do recommend it because once you're in the habit, then you don't have to retrain yourself when you're ready to do leadership. So you really want to look at it more as inviting your friends or family to join you in this venture, and you're going to help them and they're going to help you, and you're both going to learn along the way. So most of you should have an upline, so that's another source of support. Yes, Shirl is saying do it now, don't wait. That is one of my only regrets with Avon, is not doing leadership earlier. So I don't want to scare you. I definitely recommend it, and hopefully you guys are up for a challenge. I open up my team calls to all Avon representatives. I have learned how to be successful online. That's how I do a lot of my sales and recruiting. And through makeup marketing online, I try to help other Avon representatives become successful as well. I have done paid training in the past. Right now, I'm kind of just doing my webinars and coming out with recordings and other tips and training for you for free. So I do sell quite a bit personally. I sell almost as much online as I do in my retail Avon store. And so together, we are almost approaching 20,000 in sales per month. So LABCs are not allowed anymore, but it doesn't mean that you can't have that high of sales. I always wanted something with Avon, wanted to reach higher, and I committed to it, and then I figured it out along the way. We also have a strong team. Our team did almost 140,000 in the month of July. If those numbers sound crazy to you, that's okay, because they sounded crazy to me too in the beginning. Surround yourself with people who are performing, who are top sellers, top recruiters. Get to know those people and how they act, what they do, so that you can become successful as well. A lot of times you can find, lately they've been featuring a lot of representatives in the What's New books. So find those people. connect with them on Facebook and interact with them and see what makes them so successful, so you can figure out what your niche is and what you are good at. Because when you love what you do, the results just follow, because it's a passion. It's not a pitch, and it's not a pushy salesperson. So I have a couple things here that I wanted to share. Some of my free videos. I have one specific to new representatives. I really recommend that if you're new, you watch that. I did a RepFest recap, so we're going to cover a little bit of that tonight, but definitely go back and watch that video. I tried to hit the key points, key news, and important updates that we learned at RepFest. Since this is a leadership call, I wanted to point out a couple of helpful YouTube videos: Avon Online Recruiting 101 and How to Get Avon Leads Online. You, of course, want to watch the material that corporate is putting out. So I was just explaining to Tamika earlier tonight that Avon University is being revamped. So I don't know when that new material is going to be up. So for now, watch those Campaign Central videos, follow Avon on Facebook and YouTube. And then you can also check out the Avon video gallery on youravon.com. So they are redoing all of our training, and hopefully that will be available shortly. And they have been doing a virtual sales meeting the past 2 months, so make sure that you check that out. I found some snippets of the Project Runway episode 1. I couldn't find the whole episode, so if any of you guys know where that is, feel free to share it. But I definitely checked out the sunset eyes as the look. You have a page on your customer website where you can share it with your customers in social media and create some hype that way. And as long as your reference code, mine's eSegrin, is up in the URL, it will point people to your website. So always helpful to check out what your customer is looking at, and it gives you material to help with your marketing. Training. If you are on my team, one of the benefits is that you get free access to all of my online training that I've done in the past. So every Friday I set everyone up. We are growing pretty quickly. So what I recommend in the beginning is that you spend as much time training as you do getting out there and trying to build your business. So take the time to train. I like to include a couple quotes here. If you must look back, do so forgivingly. If you must look forward, do so prayerfully. However, the wisest thing you can do is to be present. Is to be present in the present gratefully. So with technology, it can make our lives easier. It makes it easier to connect with people that we can't see face to face. What we don't want to see is the technology taking over those personal relationships, because it is still important to reach out over the phone, try to meet your new representatives, or try to go to the events so that you can connect with them. Definitely try to embrace the technology, and you know, don't be so hard on yourself, and make sure that you keep a positive attitude, because your attitude is going to rub off on your customers. It's going to rub off on people thinking about joining Avon. And then you just get in this annoyed state, and nobody wants to be your customer or team member. So we really have to monitor our own attitude and use technology to our advantage, but not let it replace those key relationships that we want to build. Okay, so Shirl shared this one, and I really like it. I'm too busy working on my own grass to notice if yours is greener. So this year has been great for me, as well as very challenging. We work with a lot of women, and there tends to be, you know, some jealousy, or some people just get annoyed when you're happy. So really focus on yourself, becoming your best self. Don't compare yourself to others. Challenge you and challenge yourself to always be growing and not comparing yourself to others. Some days it's easier than others to block out that negativity. But we want to make sure that we are leading our own path, and that we're not just letting our life happen to us, that we are taking intention and really living our life with purpose. So we, Team Momentum is now over 1,100 reps strong. So I wish I could clone myself and help everyone. It's getting a little trickier with the size of our team, but we have some really great leaders, and the team environment is just really helpful. People reaching out, asking questions, others answering. So try to be as helpful as you can without doing work for your team members. So congratulations to Shirl, Jane, Trisha, and Terry, who all earned team members in the lead to achieve incentive. All right, Shirl, I see you chatting down there, but I'm not reading it because I'll get lost. All right, welcome to our nested reps. Some of you love the idea. Some of you guys are not so fond of the idea of having a leader. So do whatever you want with me. I can be as much help or as little help as you want me to be. My goal is to give you the information, put out the tips, what I've learned, how to be successful. But if you want to do your own thing, that's okay too. But I am here if you are looking for advice, and I really encourage you to get involved with our team. Congratulations to Jane and Terry, who both advanced to Gold Ambassador in Campaign 17. It's really exciting to see title advancements happening again. How many of you guys love that Avon is doing this cruise like a boss incentive over the busiest time of year? I'm super excited about that. Shirl and I were chatting about Vacation Like a Boss, and we were saying how it was sometimes difficult to get the qualified recruits. But I said that we should have no problem because we'll be right in the middle of fourth quarter. So all of you guys try to earn that cruise before campaign 26 is up, and then you can just chill out and sell all your vitamins in January. So we have broken the $1 million mark for this year. And so that is just our team sells over $1 million of Avon products every year. So we're excited to have you, and I hope to help you reach your goals and build a big Avon business if that's what you desire. We were #1 in sales increase in the nation as of RepFest. So I posted on Facebook, I wish it said Team Momentum instead of Emily Segrin, because I would not be there without all of you. There's no way that I could create that big of a sales increase. So give yourselves a pat on the back. You should have all been up on stage with me. And I was so proud that Shirl was on the national stage for the national leaderboard as well. That's just amazing that she's so early in her leadership journey and already up on the national recognition. So way to go, Shirl. In campaign 17, we sold over 90,000. We now have a list that shows the whole nation. So we are number 20. We were number 28 in campaign 17. I like to share a little bit about what's going on with me, with my Avon business, with my personal life. I want you guys to get to know me better. Ava's 6, Josh is 10. They started school this week. I feel like I'm not a chicken with my head cut off anymore. I had a really challenging summer. My babysitting plans didn't work out how I thought they were, and I ended up not having a babysitter. So trying to juggle my work and travel and taking care of the kids, Emily was a little irritable this summer, so I apologize if I was short with any of you. I need that time, especially with how busy and how big the business is growing. It was just very challenging to be full-time mom and full-time Avon leader. So I feel a little bit more sane and calm just with them in school for only a week so far. So here is RepFest. We had about 25 team members there. We got to meet for a dinner, so that was really exciting. Avon does RepFest every year, so if you didn't make it this year, hopefully you do next. And they have not announced the location yet. So I have a ton of content to go over, so I'm going to try and go fast here. RepFest at the movies, that was another event that came to you locally. So I know some of you guys got to go to that. Sarah shared that she got this as a gift. So if there are ever Avon events in your area, which they are going to start doing more workshops, reaching out to different cities. So those will take place of the district sales meetings. And they always give free products, so don't miss it. Okay, I have a little bit of a tickle in my throat. So Social Selling Simplified training series. How did you guys like it? My mom's in town from Wisconsin, so we went out to dinner. I am anxious for that replay to go up. I hope you guys found it helpful. Avon is investing in us an 8-week training series on social selling. So if you missed yesterday, that replay should be up soon, and make sure you sign up for next Wednesday night. It is free to all Avon reps, and awesome. Colleen says the replay is up. So I'm going to have to track down that link. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've heard all good things about it. Our Avon University is being revamped. There are potentially changes coming to onboarding and starter kits. Not much information given yet, so look for that to come. And Project Runway, this is giving us so much marketing material to share with our customers, with Facebook. It's exciting news, and really a way for us to advertise without advertising. So it's really cool how we are the official beauty sponsor for the whole season. And then at the end, we're going to talk about making that plan so that we are all on that cruise to Bermuda. make sure that you get the Avon Beauty Buzz. I keep trying to say Insider. It's Beauty Buzz. It should email to you every Monday. If you don't get it, you can also access it from your homepage on youravon.com. There's a little revolving news feed, and that's where you can see the newsletters posted online. I think most of you guys know a lot of this. You can go sign up for text updates. Avon hasn't fully implemented that. I've only gotten a couple here and there, but definitely sign up so that you're on there when they start fully using it. This was new information to me that Town & Country has a special right now. Buy 50 fundraiser flyers, get 50 free. So kids are going back to school. Moms have more time. Start pushing those fundraisers. There's a whole section under earnings opportunities on your Avon where you can learn how to approach an organization. So we had John Gordon and Kendra Hall as our keynote speakers. Certain takeaways that I had: be blessed, not stressed. I think all my stress is in my own head. I'm my own worst enemy, so I need to remind myself that daily. Kendra Hall shared the power of storytelling and how good of a sales rep, of a consultant you can be when you tell stories about your Avon business, about products you've tried. People remember stories better than they remember benefits and features and all the company pitches. So tell stories. Drive Like a Boss is an incentive for campaigns 20 to 25. So they're going to be coming around with those workshops starting in September. 48 locations. I have not seen the link for that to sign up yet either, so I will be sharing as soon as I have it. So you can earn, you have to either attend a workshop or complete some of the online training courses on Avon U, and then you'll receive entries into a sweepstakes for one of these cute Mini Coopers. They are in Avon colors. The color of them are inspired by our makeup, so that's pretty cool. Social selling. So if you downloaded the notes today, you can actually click through in the PDF version. This is to register for the social selling, and then there's a support group on Facebook. So make sure you reach out to that as well. Hopefully you guys all know this, that we are sponsoring Project Runway, planned viewing parties, share from your social media center. Really take advantage of this and use it as a recruiting tool. It's on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. So remember that we can make money with Avon 3 different ways. I know this slide probably gets old for some of you, but we have people in all stages of their business. So I highly recommend building all 3 areas. It gives you a better, solid foundation so that you can reinvest into your business. And you don't feel the seasonal fluxes as much when you're bringing in income from 3 different areas. So the President's Club is a title that you want to achieve. You can get there with $10,000 in award sales. So take 10,000 minus your current award sales, divide it by how many campaigns left, and that will tell you the average that you need for the rest of the year. And this should be 110,000 here. I think President's Council used to be 112. But one of the advantages of being at President's Council or higher, or at Bronze Executive in the leadership program is that you earn a free trip every year that you achieve one of those titles. So next year it's going to be at Disney. My kids are super excited about it already. So think about how can you get there. Once you've built in sales and online sales and leadership, the benefits are amazing. Next year in January, I'll have the leadership conference in San Diego. We will have the cruise to Bermuda. I know you guys are already achieving it as well. And then we will have RepFest, and what else am I missing? Oh, yeah, Disney. Okay, so that's 4 trips. So traveling is definitely one of the big perks, and I think we're kind of used to it, where people from the outside are like, wow, you really get to take all those trips. That's amazing, and it really is. So we have some achievers of President's Club already for this year. If you are curious as to what your sales are, I will be sending out the ranking so that you guys can all plan to hit President's Club. The biggest advantage is 40% off full earnings items when you achieve it, and then for the whole following year. So as I mentioned in the beginning, that you may not want to get overwhelmed with leadership, but it goes to show that you can, right in the beginning, kick off your team. We have a lot of people. LOA stands for length of association. So it's how long you've been selling. So Hattie has been selling 2 campaigns and is already a promoter. So she's already signed up her first team member. So great job, Hattie, Julia, Tisha, Marsha, Chrissy, Hope, Joy, Tamara, Rhonda, Leisha, Gisela, Shannon, Kristen, Jean, Melissa, Brenda, and Jill. Congratulations. As leaders, we want to make sure we know all of our programs and incentives. The Daily Care Collection is a great program to help your new representatives be successful in their first 7 campaigns without having to invest a lot in books. So you can find this flyer on youravon.com. I'll include a link in my follow-up email. Print out 100 if you're a brand new representative and put a label on there, ask me for a full brochure. A flyer is a lot cheaper to produce than a whole brochure. Everyone can start their own team. When I first did leadership, we had kits, and we couldn't sign people up online. They had to be face-to-face meeting. And it was just an old-fashioned way of doing it. I had the kit. You couldn't order online. So anyways, we've come a long way. You can sign someone up. They go to startavon.com and use your username, whatever you picked for your website. The second way is to go to your customer website, hover over where it says Sell Avon, and copy that link address, and that will embed your code. So if you share it anywhere, they'll end up on your team. I added this third option here because it's really probably the one that I utilize the most, and that's through sharing recruiting posts from your social media center or through the app. So recruiting is not just something that you do once every 2 weeks and then one person says no and you give up. It's an activity that you should be doing daily. The more you ask, the more you're going to get a yes. So make sure that you are sharing often. The way that social media is set up, not all of your audience sees everything that you post. So the more frequent you post, the better it will be for your odds of getting a new team member. And then you also want to try on the different websites to figure out where you find the most success. So I'm going to go through these kind of quickly because I'll cover them more in depth next week on the sales call. Make sure you go to your Campaign Central on youravon.com to see the featured products so that you can learn about the features and the benefits and tips for selling them. There's a lot of information out there. Oops, sorry guys. I have the chat box full screen here. Okay. Make sure you take the time to learn. I'm guilty of not wanting to slow down and read, but Avon supports us and supplies us with so many tips and tools to be successful. So the Best of Beauty A-Box is coming out in campaign 20. A new Ultimate is one of my top sellers. So I'm excited about this A-Box. It has that beautiful lipstick in Cherry Jubilee, and then our waterproof, oh no, it's not waterproof, our regular blackest black glimmer stick. So the advantages, it's a great value. They have 4 to 5 times its $10 price. So make sure you stress that. Oh my gosh, this is such a great deal. I really want you to try this out. It's exclusive. So each packet, every campaign, there's going to be a different A-Box, and your customers don't have to subscribe. There's no surprises on what's included. They know exactly what they're getting when they order. So I'm really excited about the upcoming A-Boxes. Breast Cancer and Domestic Violence Awareness Month is coming up in October. And then we already have sneak peeks at some of the awesome offerings for Christmas time. I see question or hand being raised. If you want to type it in the chat box, make sure that you have selected all panelists and attendees when you chat. So I might have scared a new representative with this slide. Recruiting bonuses, and even just saying in general, Avon is work. It's not magical. It's not, there's no secret. All of those people that are at the top have worked hard to get there. I do feel as a top seller and a leader that I do make more money on the leadership side of the business. So if you want to build up your income, definitely start recruiting and don't stop. So you can earn a $20 bonus for every successful team member that submits $150 orders in their first or second campaign. If you are in your Kickstart program, you can earn $50, and that's unlimited. You also earn a 3% sponsoring bonus on all of your new team members. So right from the very beginning with your first recruit, you start earning. It may only be a few cents, and it doesn't really get worth it until you get to the higher levels, but then all that pays off later. So thank you, Lisa Wilbur, who always shared her paycheck. It gave me hope and showed me proof that there was good money in building a team. So with the additional leadership bonuses, I have earned over $6,300 in just the 13 campaigns that the leadership bonuses have gone into place. So there's really good money in not only the income that comes in every 2 weeks in your leadership check, but the bonuses that you can earn. So I always like to Google, phrases when I come up with my recruiting posts. And one of the popular ones is like, can you make money with Avon? Can you make good money? So people want to build a business and earn from it. So here is proof. Yes, you can make good money with Avon. We all have different backgrounds and finances, so it's not the same for everyone how fast or how slow it goes, but you can always get there and make good money selling Avon. So I wanted to put a spotlight on some of my leaders. This week, my blogs have been driving me crazy, dropping out. Rob's trying to figure out why they're doing that. But it was kind of a good thing because it made me focus. You know, I do spend a lot of time on blogging, and I couldn't. So instead, I was like, what can I do with my leaders? So maybe it was really a blessing that I couldn't work on those blogs. So I shared some of my leaders' content. So Shirl is really good at recruiting. She has a really helpful article on how to convert those Alma leads. Shirl has earned over $1,400 in bonus money. We have Kim Karpowitz. Kim is a young mother and her husband is in medical school. So she, you know, always has a kid there with her. She's always multitasking and trying to find that balance between home and work. So she has an article here about tips to build a successful business. And then we have Jane, who is on Shirl's team. And Jane is a recruiting rock star. I know she has a YouTube channel. And she's already congratulating one of her newest team members on being a top seller for a new rep. So I like earning and getting stuff, but there's nothing more rewarding than seeing my leaders doing well. So it's just really exciting. The bigger your team grows and the more people advance to see those leadership skills advancing. We have Sarah Robeson. I know some of you guys know her from Facebook. She's really close to Bronze Ambassador. And when she reaches that and performs for 3 campaigns, she will earn a $500 bonus. Same with Barbara Mathis. Barbara only has like 3 orders in, but their team sales are over $1,000. So sometimes a leader can have 15 people and they don't hit 1,000. Sometimes you have really strong sellers and you can hit it with the 3 people. So everyone's business is different. Learn from other leaders, but lead your own path as well. I was excited to see Barbara and Sarah both doing fundraisers with Rory the Lion. So check them out on Facebook as well. Our top 5 team sales, we have Shine, Positive Force, Terry Mosquito's team, Kim with the Elite Diamonds, and Trisha Thomas. We have top 5 team total reps, Shirl, Jane, Terry, Kim, Trisha. Notice the names here. If you have only one team member, maybe it's a good time to come up with your name. It just builds a sense of community. You can build a Facebook page, and really the more people you get, the more engaging the conversations become. I do remember having 10 people and feeling like I was putting a newsletter out there for no one because nobody even acknowledged it. But keep doing those leadership activities right in the beginning. I always thought about what would I want to see from a leader. So if you think it's helpful, keep doing it, even if you're not hearing any feedback from anyone. We have over 100 appointments in August. We all know that they don't count unless we help them place a successful first order and help them to be successful along the way. So congratulations, Jane, Shirl, Kim, Amy, Sarah, Felicia, Gisela, Cheryl, Jamila, Shannon, Barbara, Brenda, Ann, and Leticia. You guys are all growing your teams. Congratulations. You are on your way to earning the cruise. And then let's not forget about these promotion bonuses, because we are incentive addicts, and I think we forget about this amazing bonus money that you can earn in the leadership program. So I recommend printing this out, printing out your cruise like a boss. Remember daily what you're working for, which advancement bonus are you going to get, and when are you going to achieve that cruise. So we have Cruise Like a Boss. I love how they had the incentives on a campaign, so that let's see, ticket to Boss Life. Okay. Vacation like a boss. Now we're cruising like a boss, and we're going to drive like a boss. So I really like how they tied all those together. This one, again, is through our strongest season, Q4. So I know you guys can get people into the business. Maybe it's just for their own personal discount for Christmas. Think about all the ways that you can pitch. I don't like that word, but think about all the different ways you can talk about your Avon business and get people interested to join you. Amy Major is a good example of that. She shares her excitement. She's signing personal recruits up all the time, just because she's always excited and sharing her success on Facebook, and people are asking her about it. Okay, so the cruise is April 28th through May 3rd. I don't have a 2018 planner yet, but if I did, I would write it on the calendar. Commit that you are going to make it there. How? So you earn points based on your sales, your recruits, your title promotions, and mentoring. So I'm going to do quite a bit of a different strategy than I did for Vacation Like a Boss, and that's how we all learn, right? We fail. and I didn't fail. I mean, I earned it for me and Rob, and Shirl earned it as well, but I was just hoping for more team members to earn it. One of my weaknesses is trying to help everyone. And then I end up hurting, myself, or the leaders that should be there, worked the hardest to get there. So leadership is a learning process. I think you can learn the best lessons by failing. So don't let it get you down. Don't stay down. Take it as a lesson and move on. So this time I'm going to be focusing mostly on title promotions and mentoring. So if you are an ambassador or higher, I really recommend focusing on these. If you are a promoter or a star promoter, definitely focus on title promotion for yourself. If you make it to Gold Ambassador, you can earn that 3 times. So that's 3,000 points right there. This is a game changer. I'm going to use that word. It's a buzzword, but it really is. You can earn a ton of points just over having successful recruits. So this is over the lifetime of their career during this incentive. So every single campaign, you can earn an extra 100 points on one of your new recruits, as long as they sign up during the campaign time frame, and you'll accrue those points for their successful orders. We all know that personal recruits tend to do better for one reason or another. We're not hating on Alma, because I've gotten some really good team members from Alma, but it's always best to recruit yourself. Use different techniques, bring in people through your own recruiting, and use Alma, and you can definitely achieve incentives very fast. Are you laughing at me, Shirl, because I said hating on Alma? All right, so another cool part of this incentive is that you can earn prizes along the way. So it's rewarding you for hitting certain goals. So keep track of your points. I know that Pam Heller sent me a cool chart, so I need to get that out to you guys so you can track. All right, see, I missed the joke, Sarah, because I didn't read. So what are some recruiting tips to be successful in this incentive? Always share the opportunity consistently and frequently. You should be asking, whether it's online or in person, 3 to 5 times a day. Or, you know, half of your Avon time should be focused on recruiting. A big aha, which is more of a duh moment for me, was that, oh, I'm not getting recruits because I'm not doing activities to recruit them. So make sure that you're selling, but also sharing the opportunity. Maybe that's through passing out try it kits. Maybe that's through showing they can get a personal discount. Maybe it's showing that they can earn extra income. Use the incentives as a way to get people excited. Use Project Runway as a way to get people excited. We have so much leverage right now, and people are going to want to make extra money and get a discount with fourth quarter coming up. Be a walking ad, so wear and carry product samples, brochures, and logo items everywhere you go. Get into a routine of what works. Spend time daily on recruiting activities. So even though blogs are pretty boring for me nowadays to write, I know they work. So when I force myself to keep putting out new recruiting blog posts, I see a jump in my numbers. So even if something becomes routine and it does work for you, keep implementing it, because that's where you're going to see big results, those small actions that we take every single day. Go for no. Use frustration as a driving force. Avoid pity parties. Stay away from the source of drama. So like I said, I'm my own worst enemy, and you know, I get down in the dumps and I just need to kick my own butt. Because you really have to see how far you've come, how many improvements you've made. I liked what John Gordon said. He said, spend more time talking to yourself and less time listening. So, you know, those self-doubt or self-conscious thoughts that we have, push them out with confidence and compliments to yourself. Stay away from the source of drama. So what I mean by that, I find that I get annoyed a lot of times on Facebook. So I like to use Facebook as a tool. I do not hang out on there because it can be a big interruption maker. It can be a source of wasting time and a source of drama. So if that's what you're looking for in your Avon business, keep Facebook open all day long. But if you want to do action items that are going to make you more money, close out of Facebook when you're not doing something for your business there. All right, Shelly is thinking about an Avon cheer. I like it. Know your weaknesses. Become your own coach. Talk to yourself. So analyze yourself. Okay, what are my weaknesses? What would really help me get to the next level in my Avon business? For me, I knew that it was not feeling comfortable recruiting. not wanting to present or even just talk to people about information, I would get nervous, and you grow out of it. So I wanted the success more than I worried about what I was going to look like or sound like. So once you know your weaknesses, you can overcome them through practice and with confidence. Always learn and grow. Do things outside of your comfort zone. So I tend to get down when I'm just doing those routine things. So when I come up with like a new training video or new tips, that's when I get excited. So I know that I should be focused on those activities more. Be a source. Oh, Shirl's got big plans for Buddy to retire in 2018. I guess that means Rob better retire with him then. Okay, so be a source of knowledge, inspiration, and happiness for those around you. Again, you are your own thermometer of your attitude. So watch how it is. Watch how you portray yourself. Watch how much you complain or get wrapped up in things that don't really mean a lot in the big picture. Show how much fun you have in your Avon business. So your personal profile should really be how Avon fits into your business. I get to pick my kids up every day at the bus stop thanks to Avon. It's being grateful. It's acknowledging those benefits and things that you get to do because of your Avon business, and then people want to join you. Avoid distractions. Focus on being efficient, productive, and money-making activities. So if you're spending all your time labeling books, how could you change that? How could you get a helper or a family member to help you so you can focus on activities that will actually be growing your business? As my business has grown, I've added employees and tools or services to help me be more efficient. So as you grow, implement those into your business. And try to do things that you're ready for. So not like spend $500 on a marketing campaign and then you can't keep up with that. I'd rather see you doing ongoing activities like sending out brochures to all of your customers or all of your contacts who are interested in seeing a brochure. So do things that are sustainable. Okay, so you are your own CEO. Protect your time. I get anxiety, and I have a lot of people that are looking for me to help. So I found ways to help that with my own personality because I don't want the Avon business to interrupt in my home life. So, build those times that you're going to work. Set appointments for calls so that people are expecting you. Run your business like a CEO would. Find your favorite way of recruiting and become an expert on it. And then the next step to that is to duplicate it. So all those makeup marketing training classes that I did, I now can provide to my whole team for free. So think about how you can create training and really teach your representatives how to be leaders. I try not, when I get a text from a new representative or someone asking me a specific question, I try to tell them where to go to find the answer instead of, say, when is my first campaign due? I say, go to youravon.com, my account, key campaign dates, because then they can always go back there. So don't just give them the date. Follow up with your leads as soon as possible. I know that's not always feasible, but they do tend to convert the quicker you can respond to them. Call, text, and email. I know Shirl and Jane both do this, and make sure you follow up right when you get that lead. I would do all 3 ways. I would follow up again, probably the next 1 to 2 days, and then I'd probably move it out a week. But then the real key is to keep marketing to that person, because it might not be the right time. So every lead that I get, I enter into constant contact so that I can continue marketing to them. So that was a big lesson I learned last year, because I bought a lot of leads, and I delegated them, and then I didn't have the information. So I feel like I flushed a lot of money down the toilet. Now I capture every lead that I get. So we're continuously marketing to them. Okay, so here are some, naughty, Shirl forgot about doing that. So that's the same idea with our customers, our leads, our team members. We want to always be constantly communicating. Okay, so here are some of my favorite places on Vibe. I like to look at my business dashboard. New pending appointments. I like to look at that probably a few times a day, because I see when my leaders add someone and I can say congratulations. New promoters are always a good thing, and then title advancement. And then I always like to look at the closed campaign comparison. And really watch, you know, as team members move through the leadership program, because the longer I'm in leadership, the more the numbers shift upward. So that's fun to look at. And that was something that I did when I wasn't getting into my blog. I took snapshots in Vibe to try and help my leaders. These are reports that I look at. So I wanted to bring it to their attention so that they're watching these reports as well. The business dashboard, you can click on the next title and it will tell you how close you are. So everybody loves when that turns to 100%. I think it turns green. So green is good. Leadership performance. So this is something, and they only show star, promoter, and higher. I like to move it to promoter and higher, because if you have a promoter who has really high sales, they could be closer to ambassador than your star promoter. So make sure that you're looking. So what I did was I used the snipping tool and took screenshots for all of my bronze ambassadors and higher, and said, hey, you know, this is where maybe you should look for helping your leaders advance. And, you know, here's people that you might want to talk to about leadership in general. I've found that a lot of my top sellers are also the top recruiters. So look at your President's Club report, sort it by cycle to date sales, and start having conversations with your top sellers. Top 10 tips for leadership success. So this is if you already have team members under you. You want to focus on growth. Don't get too caught up in all the details. So those rules with cruise like a boss, as long as you are focusing on adding new team members constantly, working closely with them to be successful, and helping look for opportunities for title advancement, the results and the incentives and the earnings will follow. So that ties into number 3, always recruit, onboard, and mentor. And then you're already doing those actions that are going to earn you the incentives when Avon announces them. So especially that personal personal recruiting, make sure you're always doing that. Use the leadership desk, customer service number, and Facebook groups as resources. Be careful with Facebook groups because you could get the wrong information. Sometimes customer service gives us different answers. So try to use the resources around you to come up with the correct answer as quickly as possible. There's a lot of questions people ask me that I don't remember without calling Avon, or they change it so many times that I don't know what the most current answer is. Provide tips and training and tools for your team. Communicate frequently, consistently, and in different forms. So maybe Shirl and I connect the best over the phone. Maybe Felicia and I talk best over email because she has a full-time job and I try not to work on nights. So figure out what works best for your team and communicate with them in the way that they like to communicate.
Emily, where do you put the leash for the dog?
It's outside.
Outside.
It's, yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Use your Kickstart program and other incentive reports to track your team's progress. So something that I've implemented recently, which I'm really excited to see how it turns out, is through Constant Contact, I can provide a link to my reports. So sometimes I wish I could see how I was performing on those reports that I open. A lot of times it doesn't even have, sometimes it doesn't have our own personal information. So if I can provide that to my leaders on a weekly basis, and it's not a lot of work for me, I just provide them the link for the tracking form, they can all encourage each other and see where they stand. I think the biggest thing with these incentives is that we get really excited when it's announced, and then our excitement kind of fizzles, and it takes a long time for the reports to update, and then we get frustrated. So you can, no fizzle, all right. No fizzle here. So make sure you stay excited and provide a good job text, congratulations, and then maybe you even want to provide that report to all of your leaders. Okay, I already did that one. Okay, always encourage, recognize, and motivate. So my #1 goal is to advance in leadership. So I try to focus on my leadership activities first. Because if you put it at the end of the day, you may never get to it. So put those business movers first. Don't put checking email first and Facebook, even though I like to do that. It can be distracting and start you out the wrong way. So be intentional and get your most important things done first. You can return phone calls and answer questions on your off time, but make sure that working time is really productive. Look for top performers and those engaged. So maybe you have someone who doesn't have the highest sales, doesn't have a team member, but they're really involved and they really want to make this work. So make sure you work with those team members as well. I like to use my waitressing analogy because the worst tippers would be the hardest tables to take care of. So we want to make sure that our top 20% is not getting ignored because we're too busy answering questions where our team members could get the answers somewhere else. So I hope you get my point with that, and that you work with the right people and provide information to all. Of course, you don't want to exclude anyone, but make sure your time is it is valuable. So make sure you honor that. Bring your top achievers together for brainstorming. So this is something that I have implemented since coaching, and it really does bring your team closer together. They built more of a bond. They get ideas off each other. So I really like those group calls where we can all brainstorm together and they can compare notes. And then I already mentioned this, tracking progress on programs and incentives. So I'm 5 minutes over, not too bad. I do have some upcoming events. You guys are all welcome to my sales and recruiting call next Thursday night. I always post the video on YouTube, and I send it out through email, even if you didn't register. So I'm a big fan of providing the information to anyone who can access it at any time. I know we some of us fit our Avon business in where we can on the weekends and nights. So it's important to have recorded information to reach out to those people who you're not interacting with during the day or whenever you're working. So you guys are always welcome to my calls. I wanted to finish here with, don't let anyone dull your sparkle. So sometimes it's hard being different, being unique. I tend to be like the black sheep because I always find these ways in Avon that aren't traditional. And that's where I found success. And sometimes I feel like I'm not a part of, you know, everyone else because of that, but you have to be a leader and pave your path, and always be looking ahead and setting your own goals, not always looking in the rearview mirror and worrying about what other people are going to think of you. As a woman, I even like put up with stuff that some of my family members say that bother me. So women are just bad about that in general. So focus on talking about your business and not talking about people, okay? If you're different and you're putting yourself out there, you're going to get some criticism. It is a part of the territory, but don't let it change who you are and how much you share and love what you do. So with that, I will end it. I hope that you guys have a great night, and I hope you found this helpful. I will see you guys in Bermuda. Woohoo! Bye. See if I can figure out how to get out of here.